Do it. Let's do it. Account selection. Account selection. Oh, for like Xbox Live. I see. Well, is this supported? There's no way this is on Insignia. Okay, I think it's supported. This is my save file. Like I have to... Dasioka. Huh. It has like achievements or something. W. Jacobs for quick mission. Complete special objective in CO1. Watchful yeoman in any difficulty during a campaign. Okay. New content is available to download? I mean, okay. We're getting the DLC. What is this gonna be? Available content for Tapioca. We've got... Is this just all of the... Is this just like all of the mission? Like, what is this? This is gonna be... This is the MP map mission pack. What is refinery? Do I want to sit here and download 656 blocks, whatever that is, of refinery? I think I'm gonna pass on the DLC for now. I don't know how long that's gonna take to download. That's probably just multiplayer maps, yeah. It probably is just multiplayer maps. Video and game. Combat points. Sure, I'll leave the combat points on manual. Controls, that's a lot of buttons. Game trailers. Tom Clancy game trailers. I remember when I had to play this. I remember that level, I think. Wait, is this the original Ghost Recon, or is this Pandora Tomorrow? Okay, yeah, this is the first game for sure. I'm getting them all mixed up because they're all the same. Yeah, sorry, Splinter Cell, great. It's all the same. Splinter Cell is not actually the same, but like it just the Clancy verse. The Clancy verse is all the same. So apparently this is an expansion pack for Ghost Recon 1, which I played on GameCube quite a while ago. D APIOCA, and I don't think that Ghost Recon 1 was necessarily that bad. It defaulted to recruit, I think. Yeah, it's defaulting to recruit, so really, who am I to mess with the defaults? I'm feeling on this one. Who am I to mess with the defaults?
As you know, gentlemen, we are here to help safeguard the first democratic elections Cuba's seen since before Batista took control. Since Castro's death in 2006, the Cuban
Quite the alt history we've got going here.
Incompetent thugs in charge, and thankfully, that's going to change.
Okay.
The elections are going
Wishful thinking, Tom.
And our job is to make sure that they go off without a hitch. What that means is that we've been volunteered to make sure the elements who want to bring back the bad old days don't get a chance to win the elections at gunpoint. Your first assignment is a basic contraband seizure. One of our patrol helicopters spotted a light cargo plane dropping a few suspicious-looking crates over an abandoned tobacco plantation. The chopper crew was able to drive off the men who were moving the crates once they landed, but they need ground support to do the job properly. Seeing as the troops trying to haul those crates off look a lot like the guerrillas who've been reported bullying voters in a few of the western cities, we're not taking any chances. Your orders are simple. You'll be inserted by helicopter on the plantation grounds. Once you're en route, the patrol chopper will peel off and leave the ground troops to you. Take control of the old plantation buildings first, as that's what the guerrillas are using for
It is
cover.
very high
Then,
quality.
secure those packages by clearing out the troops around them. They'll probably make an effort to retrieve them once the helicopter
It's the
leaves,
power of
but
the
things will be happening
Xbox.
in a hurry.
They can just have like super high quality audio like this. They don't have to compress it to shit like they did on the GameCube. Wait a minute. Is there a map? Enter cheats. I did not finish it. We're partway through chapter 3. Okay, the map. This is... I was gonna say, this is pretty much exactly what the start of the actual Ghost Recon 1 looked like. If people don't remember, I was here, the squad was here, there was a hill to my right. We had to go up the hill and then blast some dudes in a cave. My boys coming with me? My boys are coming with me. Okay. Just shoot the people in this car first, ask questions later.
Another takedown.
Sorry, car. How did I bring that map up? Oh. Trying to... left trigger. Oh no, just... How do I get my map back? Okay. This game's gonna have a lot of buttons. Alright, I understand.
We're pinned down. Kill confirmed.
Yeah, I don't know what the current state of cars in Cuba is, but, for a long time, famously, they had no new cars at all, and all of their cars were from, like, the 1950s. That was, like, a thing about it. And they would just repeatedly repair cars from, like, 50 years ago. I don't know if it's still like that, but it was like that when I heard about it 20 years ago or whatever.
Enemy down. Another takedown. We need a medic here. Stat.
20 years ago would be 2005, not quite 6. Not quite 6. Man, the Xbox 360 is 20 years old, dude. What? I don't know the exact day the 360 came out, but it was 2005, so... It must have been in November or something, right? Are we coming up on the Xbox 360's 20th birthday? I think we are.
Another one gone. Enemy down.
November 22nd, just a couple more weeks. That's, I don't know. Do we start calling the 360 retro when this happens? I'm forcing this discourse upon us again. Anyway. Where am I going? I'm green. I think I am supposed to go into this building. Vintage. I think vintage is appropriate. There's really no difference between 360 games and games from 2025. So it doesn't even feel appropriate to think of them as different. Shit. RIP that guy. Swap back to this dude, I guess. No, why do they have such good aim? Incredible aim on that guy. They're shooting me from inside the building. Like, that's not... Yeah, this is one of those Clancy's where you gotta, like, do this a whole bunch. Can't really run and gun your way through it.
Friendly down.
I thought I had the plantation. This guy's all the way back there shooting me. Do I even have anyone left? I do have some people left. Not really sure how to direct them to do stuff quite yet. Yo, grats on the Ballad of Gay Tony. I've never played the GTA 4 expansions. I have played 4 once, some years ago. But I never played, like, the expansions, DLC, whatever you want to call them. I should do it sometime. Oh, shit. Dude, they just, like, pop out from behind boxes. It's hopeless. I'm taking shots from up the hill. No, that's the game lying to me. That is just the game lying to me. Alright, package number 1 allegedly secured. I open this door from this side, or is this just like, nah, this door is just door.jpg painted on. Who is shooting me? Ah, there is a guy up the hill. Package 2 might be behind me and to the right. Yeah, all my guys are... I think a lot of my guys are dead. Except for a Koji. That might be what the red means. Yeah, I can't swap to people. This is my... I'm on my last guy, actually. Koji's gotta handle it. Actually, Koji's like out of ammo. I don't know. It doesn't really say. There's all kinds of stuff on the map. Doesn't really say anything about objectives. Secure package 2. There's all sorts of stuff on the map. Feels like there's... I don't know. I think I'm going the right way. That just sounds like a giant pain in the ass. Well... I failed level 1 on the easiest difficulty. Cool. Maybe it's time to quit Xbox thing. Maybe I should just quit. Phantom Dust and Tom Clancy at the same time. It's too much. What if we just play all of RCT? That'd be pretty fun. It would take a couple months. It would take a long time.
History. Threat removed. Nailed him. Another one gone. We need a medic here stat.
Yeah, Yakuza 2. Yakuza 2 will save me. I was working on Marietta last night. I was working on managing the club Marietta. It's gonna be tough to route in. It's simpler than I thought it was gonna be. The minigame is not that complicated. I don't really like the explanation on GameFAQs for how Marietta works, but once I figured out how it works, it's not that complicated. The problem is just that you have to keep visiting Marietta, like, a lot. You have to visit the club a lot of times. There's a number of things that you have to do that then teleport you back to the club. So I have to find opportune times where I can line up needing to go that way with having access to that content. So it's just kind of like a pain. And I need to get it all done, ideally, as quickly as possible. Early into the run, because apparently the final step takes multiple hours before it spawns in. I haven't gotten to that part and trying to figure things out yet, but apparently there is some point at which they set like a multi-hour timer before you can continue to finishing the sub-story. And so I have to like be ready for that too. I have to get that started as soon as possible into the run. Who the what? Who is shooting me? Oh, it's the truck. Can I save scum this? Maybe I can save scum it. I don't really have an estimate for run length, but maybe 30 hours. That might be a bit much. I think it could be in the 20s. I think I might. I think that as part of the process of figuring shit out, what I think we might do, once I'm done figuring out Marietta, I think we may attempt a run that just doesn't have... Like, I might just send a full run that doesn't have Mahjong and slot machines. And we do everything else. We just don't do Mahjong and slot machines. And it's a totally arbitrary category. but I have to do. I know it's going to take multiple runs to iron out the kinks in the route. There are no doubt several things that once I do a full game run, I'll realize how wrong I am. So, I think we'll do a run that gets Ammon, but does not do the optional side quests. There are 4 sub-stories in the game that are not required for unlocking Ammon. It's Mahjong, Slot Machine, and 2 Shogi.
Another kill.
And the Shogi missions are not a problem. It's actually very easy to just use Lee Shogi to just tell you how to win at Shogi, and then you just do it and you just win. It's actually really easy. And I've actually already got it set up and everything. One of the Shogi games that you have to win is just from a default, is just from like the normal starting position. So you can, that's easy. But one of the other ones, I had to go like enter the position in. But I've got it all set up and saved on Lee Shogi. So that when I go to do the runs, I can just open up a browser tab and just like mirror the moves and just win Shogi. So Shogi's not a problem. It's Mahjong, I have to learn Mahjong, which is going to take time. And Slot Machine is just an incredibly stupid prospect that I just... So we're putting that off, but I think that very soon it may be time to do like a run of something, like proper start to finish run.
Enemy down. Lost a man.
That's how I'm feeling. I still have to figure out Marietta though. Once Marietta's figured out, we will have all of the pieces aside from the 2 pieces I just said I don't have. I'm fully out of ammo to swap guys. This guy only has a pistol.
We need a medic here. Stat.
Yeah, I mean, so the thing about Mahjong, if you just have to win once, I don't exactly know how... I really haven't even attempted Mahjong yet. I was trying to look into how to learn how to play Mahjong earlier, and it's just like, how the hell is anyone supposed to remember all these hands? Like, I can't do that. But I was looking... so I haven't really looked at it much in Yakuza 2, but I think you basically just have to win a game of Mahjong. You don't have to be consistent, you only have to win one time ever. And I figure, if you only have to win one game of Mahjong, the optimal strategy may just be to just, like, go balls out and hope for, like, the best hand. Just, like, get Yakuman, you know? And if you're not lined up for Yakuman, then quit and reset until you're lined up nicely, and then you do it. It might just be something like that, where it's like, you don't have to be good at Mahjong, you just have to reset until you get a lucky hand, and then identify the lucky hand, and then send it after that. Like, it's not... You know, skill in Mahjong is probably more about consistency. And we don't need consistency, we just need one hand to go really well, something like that. Maybe. I don't know. Let me cope, lazy child. I wish I could pick up... press A. Wait. Could everyone press A to reload? Could I have been doing that the whole time? But yeah, basically, we might really soon do a Yakuza 2 big run.
Nailed him. Enemy down.
There you go, mission complete.
Excellent work on the plantation, gentlemen. We were able to analyze the contents of those packages. As you might have suspected, they were chock full of guns. We don't know who dropped them off, but we do know whom they were intended for. The troops you ran across are part of the paramilitary forces that we think are linked to the FDG, one of the parties standing a candidate for election. Publicly, they're all about vote against the puppets of the American imperialists, but disavowing violence. Privately, they seem to be a little more aggressive than that.
Yeah, that's
We've
how it
gotten
always
reports
seems to
that bands of
go.
these thugs have been
Those
going up and
America
down the countryside,
haters.
intimidating people into not voting and making things unpleasant for supporters of the opposition parties. The good news is, we've also managed to locate what we think is one of their training bases. It's up in the hills of Pinar del Rio, which means that getting a lot of troops there isn't easy. That's why you're going in. Your mission is to locate and neutralize the training camp. Take out the guard towers that cover the approaches, then seize the camp itself. Be careful. The troops inside.
Oh,
Excellent
let me
work
in
on the
there.
plantation.
I have to summon new guys into my party. M. Fitch. J-Pan. J-Pan again. C-Tang. Are we, like, out? How does this work? Am I out of guys? Steph Curry. You got him. S. Curry. I think this does run a lot better than the GameCube version did, unsurprisingly. I think the GameCube version of Ghost Recon was ass. I think it might have been ass. Yeah, really low bar. That being said, this isn't exactly pushing the power of the Xbox, right? Like, coming from playing Phantom Dust, which is like the most incredible looking game, to something that looks like this. And I mean, this is a more open environment for sure. You know, Phantom Dust has the advantage of being those like really tight confined spaces. But also like like look at it. It's not that good. But it's all right. Am I even going the right way? Not really. Oh shit.
Need a medic.
Well, you're dead. Apparently one of the objectives is this way.
Nailed him. Nailed him.
And I would love to see what they could have done. I don't really think that Xbox's hardware is properly optimized for this, so I don't actually think they could do that much interesting. But an Xbox game with just like flat shaded polygons, like no textures. If you just jettison textures, what is just like the rawest amount of polygon you can push out of an OG Xbox? How crazy can you make it?
Goodbye.
Sure. I'll allow it. Because I think that, like, you ever see that dude on YouTube who's, like, just, like, some kind of SM64 modding Jesus, and he just, like, knows everything about how the N64's hardware works and stuff. Why am I blanking on his name? It's, like, K's. That dude. That guy is always saying that in the case of the N64, a lot of the reason why games ran like shit is because of like memory issues relating to like texture loading and crap like that, I think. And if that's the case, then like if you just committed to not shading any of the poly or just like having no textures, then I think you'd be able to get way better performance out of the console. At least in the case of the N64, I'm pretty sure that's how it is. I'm like up here. I've somehow ended up behind the level. What are we doing? Oh, God. Well,
We got a casualty.
where's this team? Alright, good thing I left a team all the way back at the start accidentally somehow. I get the B team is gonna have to go in and take care of it.
Scratch another one. Kill confirmed. Goodbye.
Cool. Guard Tower 2 neutralized. Now we can go in and mess up their base. I feel like this is such like a Tom Clancy game classic. These like soulless interiors. When you go into a building and there's just like a random bench in the corner. It's just like, what was like these interiors that are just like the lowest detail interiors ever. These like cube rooms. Kind of funny to me. Yeah, I can only imagine SOCOM on PSP is not that good. That sounds not that good. No, I died instantly when I opened the door. I can't even find the guy who shot me. Oh, there he is.
He's taken care of. Got him! He's history. Nailed him!
I could just be save scumming these missions. I should be save scumming the missions. Are pretty good. 2 is great. 3 is Call of Duty. Huh.
Threat removed.
Someday I will actually play more PSP games like I always say I should.
Enemy down.
It's one of those things. It's like when I say I should play more adventure games. It's aspirational. It's like when people say they're gonna go to the gym as a New Year's resolution, you know?
Taken care of.
You say it, but
Another takedown.
they have decent public restrooms here. I mean, I could not do PSP thing. No. We're already the amount of JRPG and like I can, yeah, things you want the benefits from without putting in the effort. Exactly. I want to know about the PSP. I don't want to actually have to play all that shit.
Nailed him.
The thing about PSP RPGs as well is that it's like low budget stuff. It's not even like I can appreciate, you know, Tales of Symphonia, Skies of Arcadia, the stuff that was on the GameCube. The stuff that was on the GameCube is like, you know, it's just a little bit different. It's got much better presentation value and stuff than when you like than when you're playing, I don't know, fucking like ZHP on PSP. I'm just trying to think of like a random ass like PSP RPG that I want nothing to do with, you know? Just like to pull one out of obscurity. Just like some shit like that. Like I don't want to play that. I I can handle an RPG that's good. I can't handle an RPG that's only for RPG degens.
Enemy down. Threat removed.
How many guys are left? Also, this is their radio room. Okay, I thought this is like a PC. This is where they do their word processing.
He's history.
No, who's left? Okay, we still have a guy. We still have a guy. We still have a guy. Campers. Can you not open a door when you're prone? Yeah, you can't. Oh shit, this guy has a sniper rifle. He's not good for this. I'm gonna save scum. This is probably the last guy. This is probably the last guy. I just gotta get him. It's evidently not the last guy. That's a good question. Ah, there we go. Change weapons to something that sucks less. Well, I feel like I've taken the base. I don't know who's left. Hello? There's just gonna be some guy lurking in a corner of one of these buildings that I missed. It's just gonna be something like that. Perhaps behind this door. Nah, you're dead. Or like hanging out here somewhere. I kind of think I got everyone. I think there might be something else I'm supposed to be doing. I feel like I got everyone. It's... What's the objective? What does it say? Seize control of the camp. It's feeling pretty seized. Do I interact with the radio equipment? I bet that, like, there's some guy... I bet there's some guy who left the camp and is just, like, somewhere outside the camp who I have to go get. I'm just gonna start checking the perimeter. I don't know if there's something I'm supposed to do. Like, do I, like, raise the American flag over this camp? I don't think the Cubans would appreciate that, but... maybe that's what I'm supposed to do, somehow. You gotta press the, you know, D-pad left plus the white button to raise the American flag. Thus sending a message that American imperialists are welcome in this election. Beautiful. Yeah, I might look this up in a sec, actually. I can't imagine anyone has ever had this problem before. There's just gonna be some guy. Yep, there's just some guy. There was just some guy. I was getting one guide, I guess.
The camp in Pinardale Rio you hit wasn't the only one the FDG was using. We've been hitting other ones as we find them. Unfortunately, they've started to hit back. An MV-22 with a full complement of Marines on board was en route to neutralize a camp up in the Sierra de los Órganos when it was shot down.
Shit, there's more. There's always more. I can't imagine this will be that long, because it's an expansion. First of all, the game it was expanding wasn't that long, I think. How long was Ghost Recon? Ghost Recon. Like, Ghost Recon was 352. And if this is like this can't be.
Once you do that, we'll be able to send in a chopper and pick you up at the evac zone. However, until the SAM launcher is taken out, we're not going to risk.
Okay, we gotta beat up Sam. Like, you figure, if I go into here... If we go into here... There might only be 6 missions. CO6. Well, actually, are we still in Watchful Yeoman? Hang on. This is C Tapioca. No, this is CO3 Jaguar Maze. CO3 Jaguar Maze, yeah. So, there might only be 6 missions in this entire game. I don't know if that's how it's gonna go.
As you probably know, the camp in Pinardale...
I mean, I might be toast, though, because, like, no, we just got more boys. There's R. White. Moss. We've got Trent Norris. Alright, welcome aboard, Trent. Equip a demolition specialist with M136s. Okay. S. McAfee. Gonna swap you out for D. Martin. And you need M... How do I... Kit M136. There we go. It's gonna be Y. Huang. Why Huang? Why not? Hilarious, right? Oh my god. This map might be really big.
Scratch another one. Another takedown.
They're dead. Is there anyone up there? There must be someone in that tower.
Another one gone.
These guys have pretty good aim. That's a far shot.
Enemy neutralized.
The game's in the PlayStation class. Oh yeah. You have now reminded me. They did put the original Rainbow Six on the PlayStation. The PlayStation Classic was a bizarre thing, wasn't it? Well, not sure what they were doing at all with that. Like, weren't half the games the PAL versions? They put, like, Revelations Persona on there. It's like, they all were. Yeah, it was the PAL versions of just, like, a very unusual selection of games that are, like, not... I mean, it's tough because I feel like so much of, you know, compared to... I mean, the NES and the SNES Classic had a lot of third-party games on there, though. They managed to pull it off. They did manage to pull it off, but... I don't know. I feel like it's harder for Sony because so much of the games are third-party. Like, so much of the Classic... Like, think about it. I find it weird that, like, if you think about the PS1, and it's like the mascot icons of the PS1 are, like, Crash and Spyro, and both of those were third-party the whole time. Like, they didn't own any of that. They're just relying on other people to make the games.
Another takedown.
I think that's weird.
Enemy down.
But yeah, it's tough. I don't know. I don't know what my dream PS Classic would be. Did it have Metal Gear Solid on it? It better have had MGS1 at least, right?
They must have gone east. We'll have to hurry.
It did. Okay. Let's see. But yeah, okay. Right off the bat, Battle Arena Toshinden was on there. Like, Toshinden, really? I think it had. I think it had Tekken. Yeah, it has Tekken 3. The picture's right there. Like, okay, Tekken 3. If we're gonna include a PS1 fighting game, Tekken 3. But like, freaking Toshinden. Yeah, no Soten on this thing. As far as RPGs, they got, you know, they get Final Fantasy VII and Wild Arms. That's not terrible, but like, it's just an interesting thing. I guess the lineup's not even that bad. I guess looking at this list, the lineup's not even that bad. You get Metal Gear Solid, you get Final Fantasy VII, Ridge Racer 4, Tekken 3. There's a lot of classics on here. Honestly, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six sticks. I feel like they were going for like brand recognition, right? Like they put GTA 1 on there, but like who in the year 2025, who wants to play GTA 1? That's totally just a cash in, and unlike, oh, I recognize that. I feel like Tom Clancy's the same way. Like it's not that anyone wants to play the first Rainbow Six game in 2025. And that's like the classic plug and play experience, right? E-tanks. There was some year for Christmas when I was a kid where we got one of those like Atari flashback type things, where it's a plug and play Atari 2600, and yeah, that thing got used one time. Though apparently you could hack those to like, apparently those were legit clone hardware, and you could like mod them
Secured.
in a way to like accept cartridges. Like you could mod a cartridge slot into the Atari flashback plug and play, and then it would actually work, which is wild. But yeah, that thing got used like one time. Because it's. I mean, a PlayStation Classic it's got more meat on the bone than an Atari does, but Atari is Atari, so
Enemy down.
if you're like, oh, it's got 60 games on it, 60 games, and you very quickly realize that like 15 of those games are Pong. 15 of those games are Pong, except you're playing against a big wall instead of a player two.
Another kill.
That being said, though, Intellivision Lives on the GameCube is a good collection. I can't hate on like Ultra Boomer collections too much because I gave a glowing review to Intellivision Lives when we did that on GameCube, and I stand by that glowing review. Who just shot me?
Friendly down.
I feel like who did that? Let me just throw a save down, but who did that?
Got you back.
Yeah, this like large map is kind of cool actually. The the like compounds we were invading earlier kind of looked like trash, but this is kind of neat. This like super open area. I feel like I'm about to fight the end, you know? He's around here somewhere. Except like much uglier than that, but it's kind of got that energy. This like open jungle area. "50 ends and they're all Cuban."
Enemy neutralized.
Oh, hello.
Incoming armor. Another takedown. Enemy down.
I hope I still have my demo man. goblins or some kind of chimera on this map because it's Tom Clancy. You raise a good point, though, which is what if the Tom Clancy boys had to... What if they got isekai'd?
We have a casualty.
Squad of Tom Clancy military men. And they've got to, like, fight a dragon.
Another takedown.
A Ghost Recon in King Arthur's court, yeah. They get sent back in time. Or whatever. That's, I get the reference, but not enough to engage. Are they still doing Tom Clancy books? Like, do they do new Tom Clancy books and it's just like, you know, Jim Smith is Tom Clancy. And I think, is that just the Monster Hunter movie? Shit. Did I get beat to this by, like, that hack who makes the bad video game movies? No, not him. Different guy, I think. I think it was that other dude who did the Monster Hunter movie. Might be wrong. Well, we're here. I have to go find my demo man. Here he is. He is... Oh, good. All the way back at the start. Yeah, Paul W.S. Anderson. That's who I was trying to think of.
Catching lead in buckets here.
Yeah, because he always puts... I think Paul W.S. Anderson is like... Is he married to Mila Jovovich? He puts her in all of the bad video game movies. He is, yeah. She's in, like, all the Resident Evil movies and stuff.
Got a tank.
Enemy armor spotted. Hopefully not here. It's time to set up us the bomb. How do I do this? There have been a number of official Jack Ryan books. Okay, I mean, that's not that weird. Like, there are, you know, there are James Bond books, I think, definitely written after Ian Fleming's death or whatever. You know, it's one of those things. They're not writing... I think it's a little different because they're not writing... I mean, I guess if the book is called, like... I'd have to know about the branding, but, like... Like, they're not claiming that... Like, they're not writing pseudonymously as Ian Fleming, you know? How the fuck do I do this? It might be that I have to do this from a distance. I might be, like, calling in an airstrike or something. How do we... The new novels are written by David Michaels, who is several people. Okay, so they are writing pseudonymously. just not as Tom Clancy. That would be weird if you took up the pseudonym of a real guy. I feel like that is the weirdest thing you could do. How the fuck do I... Ah. I don't know why that happened. Let's go, we got him. I have to rescue the air crew and reach the extraction zone now. I don't know why it worked that time. I was just mashing the fire button. What's up, Sartorial Bear? How many... What new Tom Clancy games are there? There's like the... Because there's... Like, The Division exists, but that's pretty old at this point, right? And there's Rainbow Six Siege, but that, like... Do we even count that? That's like a multiplayer game. Not really sure which objectives I'm missing at this point. Maybe I'm just going to that site in the bottom right corner to exfiltrate my rescued dudes. I've never been into these like tactical shooters. I think they're boring. I've only ever played them in the context of the Thingiverse, though. You know, GameCube thing, Xbox thing. That's the only time I ever play these. Were they gonna do a battle royale? I mean, who knows what Ubisoft has even got going on these days, other than going out of business. Like any... allegedly, they're doing the Splinter Cell 1 remake, right? Thingiverse is a website. It's, I think you can get, like, 3D printed models on there, or, like, people upload their models that you can then download and 3D print. But someone, like, an hour or two ago said Thingiverse to describe my console challenges, and I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny, so I stole it. It's one of those things where, like, if you... This is the bottom corner. It's one of those things where, like, if you make something at work, it legally belongs to the company you're working for. Like, you sign over the ownership of it. Any joke posted in chat is legally property of the streamer. That's how it works. By entering this chat room, you have agreed to the terms of service of twitch.tv/tapioca. All lawsuits will be, or all disputes will be handled in arbitration. You are not allowed to sue me.
Enemy neutralized. Enemy eliminated.
Ah, what? I just got tanked. Mission complete, though. We just unlocked K. Henkel.
Buckle up, people. You're going to Isla de la Juventud, 100 miles south of the main island. Batista used it for political prisoners, but Castro turned it into a tourist trap.
Yeah, I have played Conflict Desert Storm on GameCube. That game is crazy.
The FBG's got an airfield right in the middle of one of those swamps.
That game
on the
is
western
crazy,
side of the island.
actually.
They've been using it for weapons transfers. The plane that dropped off those packages you recovered on the tobacco plantation flew out of there, and to dabble in the drug trade. By shutting it down, we shut down one of their primary supply pipelines. You'll be inserted by boat on this one, so be prepared. Your two main objectives are the airfield itself and the ammunition storage dump nearby. Seize one, and then plant the demolition charges to destroy the other. After that, get out as quickly as you can. With the way things are going on the main island, we don't expect the airfield is heavily defended.
That's no guarantee. Alright, the entire Alpha squad died. Where's Henkel? Where's Henkel? Klaus Henkel, let's go. This dude is like Ultra Operator. I had to unlock him. He comes with demo charges too, so he's important to keep alive maybe. I can't imagine I think that's just like the general, like, we need a narrator for these things type of voice. Where it's like, alright Marines, here's your objective. You know, they're in a base over there. You're gonna have to destroy their ammo and then shoot them. Like, it just is like that. Canonically, it wouldn't be the same guy because the Splinter Cell handler is NSA, and these guys are just like Marines or something.
Enemy down.
In the Tom Clancy game-o-matic universe, it wouldn't be the same guy. Small map. Got some huts. Nice looking huts.
Scratch another one.
The Star Wars lover. No. Oh, somehow I ended up... How does this... Oh, here's the bridge. Got him.
Another takedown.
The Ghost Recon game for 3DS. Ghost Lead is just some bald dude. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there are no interesting characters in all of this. Like, I feel like Splinter Cell is their attempt to make a character in, you know, Jim, the Splinter Cell guy. What's his name? But, like, clearly it didn't work on me, because I don't care about the Splinter Cell guy either. But, like, these tactical shooters, like, there's Dane Chavez, right? But I feel nothing for any of these people. They're expendable. They're expendable little green men that we send in to shoot people. They are not characters. They have no inner world. Sam Fisher. Yeah, there you go. His name's Tom Clancy. It says so right there. Yeah. Literally all I could think was Tom Clancy. I could not come up with the name. Well, here's the ammo dump. I think we gotta plant charges on this thing. The bomb has been planted. Gotta get the hell out of here, boys. Boys? It's time to leave the ammo dump before it blows up. I don't really know how to activate it blowing up. Oh, I just planted another one right here. Okay. Well, I mean, it did say objective complete, so actually I think I don't care. I think I actually am fine with just leaving the stuff on the ground. Yeah, I noticed that at some point. I haven't really been using it, but there's commands on this map screen. This attitude will get me far in the Red Army. Yeah. I mean, look. They knew the risks when they signed up for this job, you know? The risk being that they would be controlled by some guy who doesn't care for their life at all.
Another kill. Enemy down. Enemy down.
Ah, the last guy poked his head out from around the corner.
We're pinned down.
This one is like not even trying. That's Klaus Henkel. That's my special boy. Why isn't he trying?
Enemy down.
Klaus Henkel, you're our only hope. And okay. Someone came up from behind with a car. Yeah, there's no... There's no gun model, right? It's almost like... We've just got, like, laser eyes, possibly. It's first person, so we don't know where those bullets are coming from. What if you just have, like, bullet beam eyes?
Kill confirmed. Enemy down.
They've got to run out of dudes eventually. I've blasted a lot of guys. They've got to be out of dudes or almost out of dudes. What's the objective? Seize the airfield. Yeah, I didn't
Kill confirmed.
I didn't really understand that. The ending of Sarge's War was like that.
Man down.
I didn't like get what they were trying to communicate with the cloning pods at the end.
He's history.
Which sort of teases that you could maybe bring your friends back. Though I feel like it'd be kind of weird still. You bring your friends back, but they're clones now. It gets into cloning ethics and like,
Goodbye.
you know, like teleporter paradox type stuff. Where it's like if you have to use clones to bring all your friends back, I feel like it would just be uncanny, you know? Someone was shooting.
Goodbye. Kill confirmed.
Did this car just make that noise? No, a plane must have flown overhead. Yeah, it's. I mean, you know, I'm chilling. Honestly, this is 800 times more fun to me than Phantom Dust. I don't even like this kind of game, and this is. I am simply vibing. It's fine, really. We've got another, like, guy out there somewhere situation. There's a guy out there somewhere who's stopping me from officially taking the airfield. I've kind of checked everywhere, so we must be outside it. Seems Cabela-like. It's... Well, I mean, we're hunting humans, not deer. So, it's like a kind of weird Cabela. It's like Cabela's most dangerous game. Where the hell? There's just some guy. Sees airfield. Ah. Wait, I'm out of ammo. Okay. I did not know I was out of ammo that whole time. I'm sure people were just waiting for that to happen.
Nailed him.
All right, nice.
It looks like morale's starting to drop on the other side. We're still
Hell
getting
yeah.
reports of FTG
Fuck
squads
those
hitting villages on the
Cubans.
western side of the island, but we're seeing more defectors
No
every day.
morale.
With the elections coming up in less than a month, this is a good sign. The biggest
It's a
turning
good
point is a
sign
man
that their
named
morale is low
Esteban
going into the
Ordonez, who until 3
elections.
days ago was a high-ranking official in the
To
Priego
be fair,
presidential
my morale
campaign.
is always pretty low
Priego's
going
the
into
FTG's candidate, and
elections.
he's also the one calling the shots on the military side of things. Obviously, getting someone this close to Priego to switch sides is a tremendous break for us. The bad news is that we got a call from Ordonez about 20 minutes ago. It seems that his assistant figured out that he was going to turn and ratted him out. He ran for it with an armload of FTG documents.
Election
and
yesterday
hidden
was
sources
kind of pog,
outside.
though. I'm gonna be honest, I
Unfortunately, we caught up
doubted.
to him a few minutes later. We know this because he was literally
I'm
on the border
always
of the island when
doubting.
we
It's
found him.
easier to
We
doubt than
don't
to
think he's dead,
believe.
but that
But
could change at any minute. Your mission
yesterday
is to
seemed like it
rescue
was a pretty
Ordonez and
clean
those
sweep,
papers. Find
actually.
where he hid the parcel, then find him and bring him back alive. Our first flyover of the region showed that they moved a BMP in, so you may want to take
So
that out
that's
as well.
good.
Remember, they're not going to keep
I mean,
Ordonez
you know,
around
it's the
much
kind of
longer,
thing where,
so there's real
like,
time pressure on this one.
it's the kind of thing where it's like, is this going to fix the country? No. Are most of these people even that inspiring? No. Hang on, hey. A demolition specialist is recommended. M136s. Okay, hold up. Let me grab Dennis and give him the 136. You know, like I live in New Jersey, so we had a governor election yesterday. So it's kind of like, you know, is the Democratic candidate for governor that exciting? No, she's not that exciting. No one is too like, oh fuck yeah, it's she's no Zoran really, is what I'm trying to get at. She's just some generic centrist type Democrat, but it is the kind of thing where it's like, fuck it, we take those.
Scratch another one.
Still a win, still taking those. Is a little bit heartening to see Trump-backed dude just like lose massively. It's just like, good, that can still happen. A little bit heartening as someone who's been really jaded and disillusioned about the country these days.
Enemy down.
I pretty much dodged all of the commercials because I'm a like weird nerd. So the only time I saw any political ads at all were when I'd go over to my parents' house and we'd like watch TV and eat dinner over there. There we'd see the commercials, but all the commercials were just attack ads against the Republican candidate. None of the commercials I ever saw said anything about who she was, which is like kind of a bad sign. I feel like it was entirely basically just trying to pin Trump to the other guy, which he was also doing to himself, to be fair. But yeah, so I really didn't even. I was pretty uninformed, to be honest, about the shit this year. I was like I'm usually more informed than this, but I came into this pretty uninformed this year, to be honest. The other ads I got text messages and phone calls and tons of mail about the mayoral election in my town, which is still ongoing. It's going to a runoff. I'm way more informed about the much less important mayoral election in my town, as if any of these people have anything like that, like as if it fucking mattered. People really around here act like it matters when it doesn't. The mayor. It's very interesting. I like to look at my town has a subreddit that people post in. And I like to go read it sometimes just to see what kind of wild shit people are posting about who live nearby. And a lot of people on there have so many opinions. Where it's like, you gotta vote for this guy over this guy. That dude's bad. His vision for the city is bad. He's gonna this, he's gonna that. And it's just like, none of these people can fix what is wrong with the town, but also none of these people can ruin it. So I do not fucking care that much. But people really care, and I got tons of news, tons of mail and texts and calls about it. I don't know how they got my phone number. To be honest, I think it was one candidate in particular who sent me all of the shit, and I think he got my phone number from probably the corporate landlord that I rent from, who is a major backer of his campaign. That's my theory. My theory is that the landlord handed over all of their tenants' phone numbers so that they could be harassed by this asshole candidate.
Enemy neutralized. Got armor.
I don't even know if something like that would be like legal, but I bet that's where he got all the fucking numbers from.
Enemy
It's
down.
not like I give out my number anywhere else, so I don't know how it would have happened. I think we're gonna... Hang on. Save. Before I engage in the tank, we're gonna save. What am I even trying to do? There are objectives I'm supposed to be doing. Find intelligence.
Enemy down.
Hello, Ordonez.
We've got the prisoner.
Find intelligence. The intelligence is going to be back in that corner. I missed it earlier. Tore your ACL last month. Oh, damn. That sucks. Let me find out. That sartorial bear is like in the MLB or something. I didn't know that could happen to normal people. I thought that was like a sports injury.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Oh, okay. Goodbye. Ew, sports for fun. I'm a believer in sports for money. I think now I have to swap to my one guy who I brought with anti-tank stuff. And now we're just gonna send this guy in to handle the tank. Kind of a large map. It's gonna take a while to walk there. But one of the objectives is destroy BMP, and I assume BMP has to be tank. They don't mean bitmap in this context. Alpha's taking fire. Skill issue. Sports for money is such an American thing to say. Well, you'll never guess. You'll never guess this based on my accent, but I was born in the United States. I have only ever lived in the United States. I'm not from Brazil, despite what the username might lead you to believe. I still don't know how people ask that. How people ask if I'm from Brazil. Like, do I sound like I'm from Brazil?
There's wounded here.
I'm like Fernando Martinez from the GTA 3 radio. I'm from upstate, but I have real Latin passion. People think that because apparently tapioca is very popular in Brazil. I just lost my guy who could kill the tank. That's really bad. That's really bad, actually. Apparently tapioca is very popular in Brazil. Oh, mission complete. We're good. Never mind about the BMP.
Happy Election Day, people.
Happy Election Day, people. I should have played this yesterday. It would have been funny. If I had known this game was going to be about an election day.
Wherever they can. We need every available soldier out there safeguarding voting centers, and that means you get to go along on this one too. You'll be going to one of the worst trouble zones, a coastal city called Cienfuegos. The FDG's got a lot of support there, and according to reports, they've gunned down people heading for one of the main polling centers. Your job is to go in and safeguard that voting center and make sure that people can actually get to it to vote. If they want to vote FDG once they get inside, fine, that's their choice. The point is to make sure they all get that choice.
This is really funny.
Is your highest priority. There are FDG forces in the streets all around it, so you'll have to keep an eye out in all directions.
We're safeguarding democracy in Cuba, folks. This is, I was just thinking about this the other day. I was just looking at this game on my shelf. This is the plot of the Blackwater Connect game, which is a thing that exists that I own. The real-life Blackwater PMC, famous for their war crimes, made a game for Kinect on 360 about them safeguarding democracy in various countries. And you do missions protecting polling places and stuff like that. PMC in this context being private military company and not PMC Trilogy, who has nothing to do with Blackwater for sure. I think. I hope.
Goodbye.
Exposed for being there. Well, the CEO these days is like a minor to mid-level player in right-wing politics. I forget his name. It's Eric Prince. That's his name. And I've met PMC Trilogy and can confirm that he is not Eric Prince. So
Another kill.
no one's coming to vote. It's just these soldiers. How do we know that they're not here to vote?
Another takedown. I hear something. Enemy down. Taking some hits. We're pinned down. He's history. Scratch another one.
What are we doing? We are defending the voting center. We will at some point have to rescue some civilians, though, and take a command post. Might fuck around and take a command post. Oh, that's fine. The game's not that interesting. I am always down to talk about anything. This is cool. Look at the pineapple. Look at the low poly bananas and pineapples. It's actually kind of good looking. I approve of this. Not these weird loose bananas though, just like in a box. I like this shelf.
Another kill.
Here's our cool 1950s Cuba car too. This is more of like a 50s hot rod looking thing though. I think they have like 50s like beat up junker cars. And to be honest, it doesn't look this like urban environment looks pretty good. I like the buildings. This looks a lot better than when we were out in the jungle.
Right on top of them. They're shooting. Enemy down.
All right. Sir, you're free to come and vote.
Got the cargo. Nailed him. Hostage secured.
And I hope the hostages aren't following me because I think that's my guy up there. I think he's stuck. I was just up there. That's...
On top of them.
Oh no.
Got a man down here. We need a medic here stat. We have a casualty.
Oh no. A civilian was killed. Mission failed. Ugh. Alright, this might suck. This might suck a little
Happy
bit.
Election Day, people.
I think I should probably not even rescue the civilians until I've, like, been through the whole level and just swept up everybody. think we gotta clean up the streets of Havana before we can start actually rescuing people.
They're close.
But where? I really want to go.
Taking cover.
I'm just gonna ignore whatever's happening back there.
Scratch another one. Got him. We're under fire. Kill confirmed. We need a medic here stat. Another kill.
Amazing pineapple crate. Oh god.
Nailed him. He's history.
The boys are holding down the fort for me.
Scratch another one.
Back at the polling place, I think.
Goodbye. Another takedown.
See, this is this. This is the command post. We've now taken it. The civilians that we have to rescue... Are they just kind of, like, around? I'm not sure if they're on the map.
Scratch another one. Nailed him.
I'll save scum this a little bit. Maybe they are on the map? There's like those... No, or... Yes? If there's a civilian right here, then we're good. But there's not a civilian right here. So I don't think they're on the map anywhere. I think you just wander around in the streets until you find them. A PS2 thing bingo card? Like sewer levels, but more obscure. Obscure weird shit. So like what do you have in mind? What kind of stuff goes on the bingo card? Free space would have to be the low poly rat, I feel.
Scratch another one. He's history.
Maybe like... Would this be like an across? This couldn't all show. We wouldn't be going for bingo in one game, right? There's no way. A bunch of weird obscure things.
Scratch another one. Got a man down.
Well, that guy just... Alright, well, my whole squad just got soloed. They're all out front of the building or something. Objective failed, defend voting center. Can I just go... Can I do like a load? Resume. Yeah, I did not realize that 100 guys were about to show up in my voting center like that. That's annoying. I have to walk around and do all this stuff again. I don't know if I can think of enough interesting, like, things to fill a bingo card. But
Another kill.
if someone did, that does sound like a pretty good idea. I have a lot of time, yeah. The more time would not help me. I'm bad at creative endeavors.
Enemy neutralized.
Oh, they're fucking in.
Got a man down here.
How did you get there? What? How did you get there?
Nailed him.
Out of ammo.
Kill confirmed. Goodbye.
Alright, voting center defended. Now we just gotta go find the civilians, I guess. No one up here. I wonder if I actually rescued that one civilian who was like... There's a green circle. I think the green circle, if I turn right, that might be the one dude that I sort of like shot. I shot his captor up on the balcony, but then I just left. I just left him up there. I'm taking you to vote. You don't have a choice. Come with me. Of course, when the like evil Cuban dudes hold this guy at gunpoint, that's bad. But when we're holding him at gunpoint and watching him vote, that's good. He won't be pressured by us by when we do it. Is he still with me? He is not with me at all. I don't know where that other hostage was. It must be bottom right corner or something. Let's see. Okay, the civilian actually is following me. He just took a really weird route, I think. Or maybe? What's he doing? There he is. Yeah, you were coming in here, buddy. Time to vote. Please ignore all of the dead bodies in the polling place. Just vote. How do I get down there? It's gonna be like this. No. Dude up on a balcony.
Nailed him.
Oh, I thought he would have a guy up here with him. Nope, just a random miscellaneous balcony watcher who I walked past like a lot of times. Well, this civilian, what does he do? Whatever. Whatever. If that civilian wants to come with, then I guess he can. I don't recommend it. This is like, there's no red X's over here on the map, so I don't know if... I think we've just not been over here at all. Hopefully this is where the street dude is. There was that one guy who was being held in the streets. I don't know why I can't find him again. He was just in the middle of the street being, like, held captive, right? And I can't find him again. I think this is just a house that I've already been in or something. Yeah, nothing. Well, I guess I'm just gonna be wandering the streets. I wish I knew where that was. I did hear that. That's really funny. I don't know how stuff like that keeps happening in 2025. Who is setting the password to that? It's insane. But I did hear that. I guess that's come out as part of like the investigation into the heist that happened. I I haven't really followed that story at all. At first it sounded like they just walked in there, grabbed the stuff and left, but maybe it's a lot more of an elaborate operation. You know? It kind of sounded like they just walked in there, grabbed the stuff, and then left out the window because they had the ladder truck or whatever. They had the ladder truck parked. I did see that it was like perfectly out of sight from cameras and things like that. Like they did plan some things. Where? What am I even meant to be doing at this point? There's totally a second. I don't know what the deal with this civilian is.
Got the cargo.
Oh, wait, is this guy the cargo? Was he? How does this work? You are now here. We've got 2 civilians in the polling place. I mean, I'm missing rescue civilians. There's a civilian out there somewhere. Unrescued. Being held by the last terrorist in all of Havana. In all of Cuba, even. Oh, there he is.
Nailed him. Goodbye.
Okay, he was just right here.
Got the cargo.
It's weird that they both follow you. Like, you don't... That guy doesn't want to be safe at the polling place. He wants to follow me around as I go rescue the other hostages. I don't know if there's going to be like a thing I have to do to tell them to stop. Or if once they both get in here, it's just going to auto end. I think that's what's going to happen. Please tell me there's not another civilian. Please tell me there's not another civilian.
Following your lead.
Like, where? Which part of this map have I not been to at this point? Top right corner, maybe? I feel like that bottom right area is just, like, pretty sus. Like, how was it that there were no enemies and no civilians around here at all, right? Just nothing at all. Oh, this is totally it. Hang on. I don't think I was back here before. What is this? No, this is nothing. Nope, it's not it. It's nothing. There's just straight up actually nothing. That's weird. And you figure I would have gotten shot at by now if there were enemies nearby, right? Like, they would have shot me. If I had walked by them or something. I did come back here. I think this is where the first hostage came from. Was in that building. This is... I know I was saying that tactical shooters are kind of boring earlier, but, like, this is ridiculous. I might have to just look up where to go soon. I don't think it's... I've been through the pineapple building a couple times. I'll go through there again. This is like the pineapple factory or something. This is where they synthesize the pineapples. There's like nothing. It's not that. And that's just leading me back there. Maybe up by the, I haven't really been back to where I took the outpost. Maybe there was a civilian. It also could be that one of these doors was openable. That could be it, that one of these doors somewhere on the map is openable and then there's an interior. Not here though. Like, there's nothing on the map that indicates it, right? Rescue civilians. What if it is... Hang on. What if it's just you? No, it's not just him. Is there something I do with these two guys to get them to vote? They're like... The pathfinding is kind of funny, the way they're like dancing around trying to follow me through this room. I think I'm gonna look this up. I give up. I'm gonna be honest with you. I give up. I have no idea. Island... This game called Island Thunder? I have no idea. Let's see. Scrolling down on game facts. Rescue civilians. There is only one wait. Go to where the 3 people on the street all the way to the north died. Go down the street to the east, path into a building. Building. There is a steps into the building. There will be a soldier along the street. Yeah. Take the civilian and end the street. Apparently there might be a soldier somewhere in a building. It's not super clear. All the way, the 3 people all the way north. I don't know about that. The 3 people all the way north. Wait, what about past the pillars, east into the street, to the north? That northeast corner, hang on. I don't think I've been down that, if that even is a thing. I don't know if I've been over here at all, actually. Like this blue building. Somehow I might have just managed to never come over here. Yeah, they're shooting. Somehow I managed to just never come over here. I don't know where my buddy just shot a guy, but somehow I just never came over. I've been walking in circles in this map for like half an hour. I'm incredibly stupid. I am incredibly stupid. That's insane. Well, there you go. I spent like at least 15, 20 minutes looking for this guy. There you go. Save progress.
Saddle up. This is a hot one.
Oh, it's still going.
Drug connection was stronger than we thought. Priego is
I thought this was the last mission. Well,
they were hoping that he'd assume power.
We'll have to finish this tomorrow then. I thought it was only going up to CO6 for some reason.
So Priego asked his bosses for help. They sent a few boatloads of
Whoops.
To reinforce the FDG soldiers, and that's what we have to deal with right.
Oh well, we'll finish that tomorrow then. I'm gonna stop here for today though. We'll finish that tomorrow. Looking on GameFAQs, it appears that there are actually 8 missions, not 6. So, whatever. We'll finish this tomorrow alongside more Phantom Dust, I guess. I figure we'll play this first, and then we'll fill the rest of the stream with Phantom Dust. 'Cause this is probably just going to be another, like, 45 minutes tops. Assuming they don't hide any mysterious guys on me again like that, but they hopefully won't. Kiwami actually has plenty of all sub-stories runs. It's, I think, only about 6 hours long, actually. All sub-stories has been worked on quite a bit by a few different people over the years. But nobody has ever done the PS2 version. PS2 Yakuza 2 is at this point one of a very small number of games that doesn't have a higher percentage run. And there's a reason for that, but it is finally gonna happen next week.
Saddle up. This is a hot one. It
All
turns
right,
out the
saddle up,
FBG's drug
gamers.
connections
This is a
are
hot
stronger than we
one.
thought. Priego is essentially owned by Colombian interests, and by Colombian interests, I mean FARC. They were hoping that he'd
Saddle
assume
up.
power and turn Cuba
This
into
is
a
hot
depot for cocaine
ones.
heading north into Florida. In the wake of the election results, that's obviously not going to happen, so Priego asked his bosses for
Seeing
help.
Chavez
They
has
sent a
to
few
free
boatloads of their
Cuba
troops
while
to
eating
reinforce the
increasingly
FBG
hot
soldiers. That's what we
sauces.
have to deal with right now. The FARC troops are hitting the beach near Demas, and they're hitting it hard. We'll be able to get more troops there later, but right now
There are
we're all
5
together.
more Dan Clancy
Disable the
games. Well, there's
vehicle
this
following
one
the
and then
Colombian
4
troops
more
around
after
until they get
this
off the
one.
beach, then hold the beach itself. The FARC
There are
soldiers will have
plenty
FBG
more. Like
reinforcements
every
coming
game that
up,
we
so
played
they're
on
prepared to be hit
GameCube
by a second
would
wave.
also be on
Finally,
Xbox, but we
seize
already
the
played
days and
them.
any supplies the enemy's
Then
placed
in
on them.
Xbox
They set up a
thing, there are
makeshift command
5
outpost
more that were
equipped with
not on the
automatic grenade
GameCube that
launcher
I'm
on
gonna
one
be
of the jets.
playing.
Make sure you
This
take that out as well.
plus 4 others. So lots of, I think it's 3 Ghost Recons and 2 Rainbow Sixes, something like that. It's like expansion packs. It's like these, like the numbered. I don't really understand how these series work, but I think like the numbered main games did come out on the GameCube. But like this thing, Island Thunder, is basically just like an expansion pack for the first Ghost Recon. Like I looked it up this morning because I was curious. The first Ghost Recon, which we played on GameCube, had 15 missions in it, and this game's only got 8, so this is about half as long as that. Though these missions are taking me a really long time anyway, so. Clearly, something is slightly different. Oh, a demolition specialist with M136s. Gotcha. M136. B Walker's gonna be our guy. Yeah, Vegas is a 360 game. I've always wondered about that Tom Clancy Vegas game and whether or not it's any good. I've always wanted to play a game that takes place on like a super detailed Las Vegas map. I just feel like Las Vegas is a real life video game map already. So it makes so much sense to make a game out of it. It's already such a fucked up place.
Enemy down. Enemy neutralized. Scratch another one.
We got dudes all the way back there.
Scratch another one. Another kill. Nailed him. Enemy down.
Alright, well that's that then. Very nice. Are you are, yeah, no, you gotta go. I think that the way ultimately, like I think that what's gonna happen, the way I ended up routing Yakuza 2, I just did like I tried to figure out how to piece pretty much all of the sub-stories together, and then I left a few major things like managing the hostess club. I just like left that for last for figuring out. And I think what's going to end up happening is I'm not going to be able to do Marietta during the main story, like it's just not going to be possible. And there's going to be, for at least the first run, I'm just going to end up doing a large portion of Marietta just tacked on to the end of the run, which is unfortunate. The thing about that, though, is that means for future routing, I can basically start relaxing other parts of the route, is what I've been thinking. Where, like, there are things that are inefficient that I'm doing because it'll be like, well, this is the best time to take this detour. You know, like maybe in Chapter 10, there's some detour that we take. And it is the best time to take that detour, but actually, if I have all of this waiting I have to do at the end of the run anyway, like any slightly out-of-the-way thing, I can pretty much just take care of during that wait, you know? So I think a lot of the reroute for future attempts after the first one is going to come from basically routing all of the detours to not exist anymore and to just happen while we're waiting on timers for other things. Or to just route waiting on timers somehow. Marietta's just so out of the way.
Another kill.
It's hard to know exactly what the best play is. Yakuza 2 has ended up... There's a lot less interesting stuff going on in trying to figure out the routing compared to 5. Like, when we were doing 5, the 5 routing streams were pretty fun. You know, figuring out how to play all the mini games, stuff like that. Like, it's all pretty fun and interesting. 2 is just like staring at spreadsheet. It's way more complicated, but not in an interesting way. So it's been tough. Hey Kiva and hey Sturchan. We are no longer killing voters. We are now killing voter suppressors. These people have been suppressing the vote or whatever. And so now I'm shooting them all. But I think the election might have already happened. Or it's still election day. I'm not sure. We are going to come back to Phantom Dust after I finish this. I just wanted to take care of this first today, because this is going to be, like, pretty short. So I figured we'd take care of this first thing, and then the remainder of the stream will be spent working on Phantom Dust. We are nowhere remotely close to being done with that game, so... the fun, the dust will resume. Oh, I cleared the beach.
There's wounded here. Kill confirmed.
Why does this guy have, like, a payphone in his house? What? We're in, like, a hotel, actually, I think. I think this is, like, a beachside hotel. Yeah, there's just no gun model. Oop. We got guys right there.
Right behind you.
I've probably played other shooters that didn't render the gun model. This can't be the only one I've ever played that's like that. I mean, probably the first Ghost Recon is like that, because I think this is literally just the same game. But it is a little bit weird. I wonder if there's something I can do to, like... heal this guy, because he's still marked there, you know? I think maybe if I brought a medic, maybe I needed to bring a medic. What are the objectives? Disable vehicle column. I think that means it's time to bring up the rocket launcher guy. Other one is seizing material. I have to seize some material. And maybe the white markers are material. Either way, we gotta bring up the rocket launcher guy. I'm gonna save in case I get jumped, because this is my one rocket launcher, so if I lose it, I think it's mission failed. I think if this guy dies, it's GG. East Coaster's getting the Rizzler meal? What? I'm
Enemy eliminated.
not aware of that, and I think that I'm better. My life is better for not being aware of that. What? Uh... The Rizzler meal. I don't even know if I've ever seen... Is that in... I don't know that I've ever seen a Hardee's before in my life. I don't know where I would have to go to get the Rizzler meal. Yeah, I don't think those are in New Jersey.
Enemy down.
Apparently there was a soldier in there. What do you mean enemy down? Ah, mission complete. Perfect. Wait, but I didn't seize the material. Where was the material? When did I seize the material? I mean, okay. Sure.
Priego's run out of allies and he's run out of room. We've
All
rounded
right,
up most of the armed
Priego.
RPG supporters in the countryside and
That's like a
routed
really
apart for
fake-sounding
reinforcements.
name.
The big boys in Colombia have decided to cut their losses, which means that Priego's got nothing left. He's retreated to an old hilltop fortress in the Sierra de los Órganos.
Dude, this
with
is
the last
so
of his supporters.
classic.
You get the honor and the
I feel
privilege
like
of
this is
bailing him out.
every single
The
Tom
fortress is
Clancy game.
1920s vintage,
Every one of these
situated on top of a
shooters,
steep hill, and
our
it's got
main
well-placed
villain
external guard
retreats
posts.
into a
Neutralize
fortress.
those
He's
guard
always got a
posts and then take
fortress
the
to
fortress.
retreat into
Priego's inside
at
with
the
the
end
rest
for
of
the
his elite
final
group.
mission.
They won't be easy to dig out, but we want Priego alive. Dead, he becomes a martyr, and that's the last thing the new Cuban government needs. Make sure he doesn't escape. There's a helicopter pad behind the fortress complex, so you'll need to make sure he doesn't make a run for that. If he gets away, this whole mess has the potential to start all over again. You know what you have to do, people. Now let's go do it.
We want Priego alive. Make sure he doesn't make a run for it. You know, I do wonder. This guy says he has 3 points. I can allocate skill points. I've never done this. I haven't done this for the entire game, but I can give this dude skill points. I don't know what W cell is. This game has RPG elements. We're just now finding this out. W might be Wumbo, S is for shot, E is for energy, and L is for life. I think those might be it. Put it all in Wumbo. Oh, it didn't save it. T. Norris is a badass dude. He's got 5 points. I've just been using him for like the whole game and he hasn't died. Yeah, I've never seen a Hardee's before. Now, I do know, isn't Hardee's the same thing as like Carl's Jr. or something like that? Which I've also never seen one of before, but... Carl's Jr. is West Coast. Okay. I wonder why they have... Yeah, I wonder why it's like that. They have a different name in a different part of the country. I understand on some level, like... Oop, I'm dead. I understand on some level, why Burger King is called Hungry Jack in Australia. Like, I get things having different names, but, like, in the same country, I don't get. Who the fuck? What is happening? Literally, what is happening? Someone's just, like, rocket launchering my dudes from the fog. It's the gorillas in the mist, dude. I can't find them. There's something around this corner that keeps blasting me. What is happening? Well, like, half my squad is dead, but I guess that's fine. The price you pay to enter into the fortress. There are some Hardys in Pennsylvania, Detroit. Why did I say Detroit? Delaware and Maryland. DE.
Scratch another one.
In 2018 will become separate brands, claiming that CKE's racy advertising was incompatible with what? What's going on over there in the West Coast, dude? Carl's Jr. has racy advertising. Is it like a Hooters over there? Like the Hooters of McDonald's? Well, I'm at an objective of some kind. Guy died in an interesting way. The only objective is to capture Priego. You know, this doesn't even matter that much. As long as we get the Pringles, man. Let me see this. How is this gonna advertise Carl's Jr.? What are we doing here? She's eating the burger in like one shot. That's funny. Yes. Yes, indeed, Americus. There are 4 more after this as well. I don't know if the PS2 list has any Tom Clancy on it. I'm not sure if there's any PS2 exclusive Clancy's that I'll have to play, but there were like 9 of them on the GameCube and like another 5 on the Xbox, so whole lot of Clancy. This was kind of peak Clancy. There were a number on PS3 and 360 too, and the brand kind of goes away. But the 2000s are peak Clancy. Ubisoft was just pumping these things out.
He's taken care of. Enemy down.
It's got 1 Clancy on it.
He's
I know
taken
there's,
care of.
yeah, I was about to say, I literally was just reading about this. I think Jungle Storm might be a repeat of content, though. I think Jungle Storm has... I think I saw, like, literally right before I started stream, that Jungle Storm has this campaign on it. I don't know if it has any unique content. Like, I would have to look into that. But it might just be a collection of stuff that we had already played. Dan Clancy has ruined the name Tom Clancy for you. But not Clancy Brown. That Mr. Krabs being Clancy is okay, but Dan Clancy is like a step too far. That's understandable. I think I agree. And if this were Dan Clancy's Island Thunder, all of the enemies would be like bikini streamers.
Enemy neutralized.
It's Island Thunder plus 8 more campaign missions. I guess we would do those 8 more campaign missions then. That's what would happen. So there's apparently one more Clancy then on PS2, and then I think that's it, I guess. Then I'll have... I don't know, it's the things... the things that I become an unintended, unwanted expert in after playing so many of them. By the time I'm done with Xbox thing, I'll have played basically every Tom Clancy game from, at least from this era. That's just like Lamau, like of all of the things. I will be playing Phantom Dust after this. I just wanted to do this first, because this is short. I just wanted to take care of this first, because it's kind of short. So I figured we do that, and then we fill the rest of the stream with oh shit! I didn't know Priego was escaping. Welp. You must have left out the back door or something. Because I think that's his helipad that we... I think that's his helipad that I cleaned out back there. We must have escaped out the back door. And yeah, I did give Resident Evil 1 a 3 out of 5. It was okay. It's just, I did not like the aspect of the game where you kind of just had to check every door to see. Like when you start the game, when you start a playthrough of Resident Evil, it feels like you have no idea where to go. Apparently if you play as Jill, you get some direction. But playing as Chris, you get basically no direction at all. You're just like dumped into the castle or dumped into the manor, and it's just like, all right, go. And like you just fucking wander around trying to figure out where to go and what to do. And I just found that portion of the game to be like incredibly annoying. I did sort of come around to liking the game more as I got deeper into it, I remember. But those like early game first couple hours of just like, where do I go? What do I do? This is annoying. I did not like that stuff. Who the hell? Where did this guy even come from? I did not like that stuff. It bugged me that like halfway through the game they respawn all the zombies in the map. This was also my first ever classic Resident Evil, so I had zero idea what I was doing. How the fuck does he have like a secret? Does he have a secret exit? I think I might post someone down at the helicopter. I think I'm gonna post someone at the helicopter and then attack. Yeah, respawn plus the crimson heads is just like stupid annoying. I don't know. There's just a bunch that kind of bugged me. In hindsight, I think I would. Yeah, see, I just found that to be irritating. Not that I need to be told where to go specifically, but just that, like, the process of working my way through the house, checking every door, and this and that, just, I don't know. How do I do this? I'm trying to, like, figure out how I can tell. Ah, here we go.
Taking the scenic route.
So we'll see. Oh, the entirety of Alpha Squad is dead. That's my problem.
On your tail.
It's not that I need to be told where to go, but the fact that you just have to aimlessly wander checking every door until you find the one door that has the actual doable puzzle in it is just like, I did not find that fun. In hindsight, there are things I appreciate about Resident Evil 1 compared to, like, future games in the series. You know, later on in the series, it feels like they basically give up on any puzzles. They basically give up, and it's just a game about wandering around and finding keys to open doors. It just, like, the idea of puzzles in the way that Resi 1 does it sort of goes out the window. IMO. How do I tell this guy to stay here? I want you to hold. I want you to not go anywhere. How do I close this menu? How do I... Bro, you have to stay. Hold. Hold. No, he's still just following me. What? Who are you shooting? Oh, it's Priego. He was, like, coming out the back door. Where the hell... How did he... Well, there you go. Mission complete. Where the hell did he come from? I have no idea. It's a new day for Cuba, chat. Democracy prevails. I feel like that I feel like I barely did anything that mission. It just kind of happened. Anyway, that's the game. Stopping the timer, I guess. I kind of just wandered around and then stumbled into the dude, shot his bodyguard, and it ended, and I never even had to go to his house. Didn't actually have to go to the fortress. Yeah, I mean, this is just a, this game is an expansion pack for the first game, essentially. Like, it's not a... You know, it's for console, they sold it separately. And I guess if you bought... I guess you could probably buy it separately on PC too, but that's sort of like the space this game lives in. It's not a full-fledged sequel. It's just like, here's another campaign for Ghost Recon that you can play. And so that's what this is. I don't know if Ghost Recon 1 on Xbox had Xbox Live, but this game has Live as well. So maybe that's part of the sell. But yeah, it's it was always going to be shorter. I think the first game had 15 missions, and this game only had 8. Though I think those 15 missions must have been shorter, because I finished the first game in like under 4 hours. Those missions must have been easier or shorter or something, maybe. There he is. It's Eves. Red Storm Corporate. Who is Red? Why is he the CEO of Red Storm and not Ubisoft? Founded in 1996 between author Tom Clancy, manager some dude, and some other thing. Ubisoft bought them in the year 2000. And they are alleged to still exist today. Interesting. Yeah, they basically just made the history of Red Storm Entertainment is kind of funny. They basically made like 1 million Tom Clancy games, like every single Tom Clancy game, up until like 2008, and then the Tom Clancy well dries up, and then they just like nothing after that, but allegedly they still exist. They pivoted to making like VR games that nobody has ever heard of. That's what they put them on after that. Oh, is that... They were... I never heard of this. Apparently this was announced in May of 2021. By playing Heartland, players would receive rewards in The Division 2. And a mobile game. Multiple public tests were held, but the game was canceled? Really? You alpha tested it and it sucked. Uh-oh. I signed up to be in the recent beta of Marathon, but they didn't call me back. I didn't get in. Weapons provided by Stembridge Gun Rental. That's interesting that they ran public tests for the game and then canceled it. It makes me want to crawl my way into more tests just in case the game gets canceled, and then I feel like I had a unique experience. Shoutouts to Hyenas, if anyone remembers Hyenas. I know Froob played the test for that at the time. But there's a few more game trailers.
The year is 2008.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, if you've got footage of the Heartland alpha, then 20 years from now, you can put it on YouTube, and then there will be, like, Zoomers. Not Zoomers, though, like, whatever the 20 years from now equivalent of Zoomers, like Gen Delta, or whatever we're on at that point, will be like, oh man, look at this mysterious canceled game. All there is this grainy 1080p footage, so low resolution and old looking. They're like, oh, if only that had come out, man.
U.S. Special Forces Group 5, 1st Battalion, D Company. Deployed on peacekeeping duty to the Republic of Georgia in the Caucasus. This handful of Green Berets represents the very tip of the spear, the first line of defense. Equipped with the latest battlefield technology and trained in the latest techniques of covert warfare, they strike swiftly.
What do you mean they didn't record it in hologram? Exactly.
They call themselves.
It's not even 3D, bro. It's not even compatible with my Meta Sunglasses 5. Oh, later, Yarts. Thank you for stopping by. I think that Rainbow Six is better than Ghost Recon. I think the difference might be that Rainbow Six is more about, like, actually doing things. And Ghost Recon is just like, Marines, it's time to wander around in the woods and find a piece of paper. Kill anyone you see, and it's just, like, much boringer. I think that Rainbow Six is better. Like, these dudes are stopping a bank heist or something. We actually played this. I think this was that mission. I think what they're showing in the trailer is that mission where we were outside sniping people and I couldn't figure out how to get the level to advance, and then people got, like, stuck on each other's heads and I had to reset the mission because of that. I think this was that level. We were, like, stopping a bank heist. Clearly this is way more exciting. I don't think that they would be walking away from that exploding helicopter, though. But there's Tom Clancy, Ghost Recon, Island Thunder. Let's get this thing wrapped up. I have to press all the buttons. One moment, please. Oh, whoops, my mic is muted. But that was game number 123. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Island Thunder. Beaten in 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 10 seconds. That could have been done much faster. The mission where we had to defend the polling place. I couldn't find the final hostage for, like, however long that was. It took me an incredibly long time to find the remaining hostages. If it weren't for that, we probably could have cut the two. But oh well, no sewer level. This game takes place almost entirely outdoors. The engine is definitely meant for wide open outdoor areas. The interiors for this game all looked really bad. But how was that? This game had confusing objectives at times. I think that's, like, my main issue with it. Otherwise, it's just kind of boring. Like, it's just kind of boring. Like, it's got that Tom Clancy tactical shooter thing where you just die in like 2 bullets and all the enemies die in like 2 bullets. And so you just kind of spot them at a distance and then crouch down and then shoot them and then move on. And then you just sort of slowly bleed guys across the level and you just hope to make it to the end before you run out of guys. That's kind of how I play these, and it's, you know, it's one of those. I think this is the same exact like engine and everything as Ghost Recon 1, so... Also played on easy. I did, but it was the default difficulty. It was defaulting to that, so blame Tom, not me. He wanted me to do it. On harder difficulties, it would have been exactly the same. You just shoot someone at a distance. Like, I guess maybe... Like, I just don't even think that you would have had to interact with, like, the commanding the squad type mechanics, which were fucked up and weird, by the way. I never figured out how to use them. But I don't even think you would have ever had to do that. Like, the fact that you can save scum the missions means that, frankly, if I were playing on a harder difficulty, I would have just save scummed more. I would have just been saving more. It would have been the same game, so I don't really care. But I think that the shooting is not that exciting or interesting. I think that the missions are mostly just wandering around in large open areas and trying to figure out what they want you to do when you get to the objective. Like, sometimes you get to the objective and it just clears, you're fine. Sometimes you have to, like, kill everyone, and then there'll be some guy who's, like, planted himself behind a tree and you can't find him for, like, 10 minutes. There's that issue. I don't know. There's that stupid polling mission that I couldn't find the hostages in, though I will say that is kind of skill issue on my part, that I had a hard time finding the hostages. But I think that it's just, like, not... I don't know. I think that it was just not that interesting. And I spent a bunch of this game wondering why the missions weren't passing, and so I'm giving it a 2. And you're all gonna have to be okay with that. I don't remember really having a confusing objective issue when we played Ghost Recon 1. I feel like these are like... This is the Galaxy 2 to Ghost Recon 1's Galaxy 1, where it's like these are the levels that were deemed too crappy for the real game, so we sold them as the expansion, and it's just like all levels that are like 5% worse than the ones that were in the first game. That's kind of a hot Mario take, but I'm applying it. Ghost Recon did not support live. Oh, okay. In that case, that's a big selling point for why anyone would buy this, yeah, because this does. That actually makes a lot of sense then for why they would release this on console. You know, just out of curiosity, what... Actually, switching back, killing the music, what is the live... Like, what is multiplayer? We've got... live stats. Rifleman. Is there anyone on these leaderboards? Oh, there's a lot of people. Someone has 843 kills on Insignia. What? Beef Muffin. There's a lot of people on here. I wouldn't have expected that. Well, there are some Ghost Recon fans. It's fun to see some of the same people across games on these leaderboards. Like, there's Rory64. I recognize Rory64. I don't think I recognize any of these other usernames from other Xbox games. You're in, like... It doesn't scroll down anymore. I think I can only see the top 24. It says there's 125 total players. Oh, there you are. Filter for friends. You've got 5 kills. Nice. Wait, how did you... Did you manage to find an online game for this? Did you actually get to play this online? Well, only 800 more where that comes from if you want to get to the top. But yeah, that does not change my rating. It's still a 2.